Wii Sports Resort. And the interesting thing about Wii Sports Resort is it comes with its own pack-in, which is the Wii Motion Plus. It's the little nubbin that you plug in to the bottom of your Wii
Finally here. 2 E3s in a row, we finally get it.
Well, and we played a little bit a few weeks ago with Tiger Woods Golf, although I had the wrong settings, so we didn't even get a chance to
You know, but the
experience
Motion Plus stuff was really experiencing though.
So the Wii Motion Plus is an attempt to create an even more accurate one-to-one relationship between what you do with your Wiimote and what the Wii sees. Attempting to not make that at all dirty. So Wii Sports Resort is like Wii Sports, which is a variety of small mini games built around sports, but this time the conceit is that we are at a island resort, so there's jet skiing type of games, which they can't call that because it's copyrighted. But frisbee on the beach, there's
Which they
basketball.
can't call that because they paid for the trademark.
Oh, did they trademark?
Yeah, it says TM at the bottom.
That's true. And, you know, a whole wide variety. There's like
Wakeboarding.
yeah, exactly. Wakeboarding, flying around in a plane over the island.
Archery.
All kinds of crazy stuff. You start the game actually parachuting out of the island.
Which, of course, there's no skydiving in the game.
Yeah, there is.
Yes,
Oh, there is? The same thing? Like, yeah. I didn't do it because I was like, yeah, I did that on
All
the
right,
way in.
well, let's get to the inevitable, which is start your hate train on
There's
Wii
no hate
Sports
train.
Resort.
Oh, hey, look, let's be clear about how I feel about the Wii. I think the Wii is a great party platform. I played the crap out of Wii Sports. That is why I have a Wii, is because when my friends come over and we've been drinking, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna kick your ass in tennis. Let's do it. That's what the Wii does great. What I don't like and usually trash about the Wii, from my personal experiences, is when they try to just do games that are for any other game console, you know what I mean? That's what I didn't like about Conduit, is I was like, I don't want to play a first-person shooter this way. I will play pool
not
this
the case.
way.
This game, this is...
So there's a lot of really great stuff. I loved the wakeboarding. Wakeboarding was my favorite by far. It was super fun. Archery is super fun. We finally get to play table tennis, which to me was lacking, and then they had Play, I think was called.
Wii Play, yeah.
Wii Play, which I
with the
think was a
extra
big failure. That game, none of the games really
From a
worked
sales
for me.
perspective, it was the opposite of a failure.
Well, but I'm not reviewing their sales charts. I'm telling you
Right.
how I've experienced it, and it was like great Wii Sports 2, and none of them were. I mean, the table tennis is like atrocious. So you get table tennis back. You know, it's all this stuff. Now that said, this is a great party game. Am I going to sit down and wakeboard for any more than 5 minutes on any given day by myself? No. To me, that's not what that was made for. Just as that's how I experience Wii Sports. I don't play tennis by myself on Wii Sports. That's not what I want to do. But whenever my friends are over, I'm like, bro, let's play some tennis. You know what I mean? So it's just like that plus. Now the Wii Motion Plus stuff is interesting. I almost feel like I hold it to a higher degree of, I want it to be even better than it is because it claims to be so good. With the Wii, when I got it, I was like, wow, this is, I mean, it's a little off, but geez, okay, it's tracking, that's crazy. And it goes, look, it's just tracking your stuff. It's like, oh, okay, this is cool. Since the Wii Motion Plus came out and was like, this is now one-to-one, it's all gonna be great, then the layer of frustration becomes more like when we were playing the basketball thing, and I was going, I know I'm shooting the basketball the way it wants me to shoot it because I'm shooting a basketball.
You were, though.
I was shooting the basketball.
I would posit...
What they want to is to say, here's the thing, shoot like a basketball. And so I did.
There's skill involved.
Well,
No,
what
I know.
it is,
I would posit the reason you like the table tennis here more than in the Wii Play version is because of the Motion Plus.
Oh, that might be very. I wasn't talking specifically about it. I was just saying that I hold that up to a higher degree, like to a higher standard,
right?
Because they claim that it's so good. Whereas with the other one, I was sort of like, I don't care. I mean, it's twitchy as hell, but it's fun.
Right.
And this one, it's like, well, it's still twitchy as hell. But the whole point of it being out is that, hey, you remember how twitchy this was? It's not like that anymore. And it's like, well,
let me hop in here because we may agree on this.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Wii Motion Plus is a vast improvement on the previous thing.
Agreed.
And it definitely is one-to-one in terms of what it's receiving, and like you can see the paddle when you're playing table tennis. You see it's moving, but the games are still gestural based, not the activity that you're doing. Like basketball, it's still like it's the motion of doing this, and you have to clock into how does the game interpret this motion, and table tennis too. It's not, if you do it's not just like the same thing that would happen in real life. It's not a simulator of the experience. So
I don't think it's claiming to be a simulator.
I don't know what
but
it's
I would
claiming.
argue
I'm not talking about what it's claiming.
Canoeing, for example, is you're doing what you would do to canoe.
No, but the gesture of what you would do to canoe. But I think the actual someone who canoe, I mean, that's one that I don't, table tennis is something I do know, you know, and it's when you actually, okay, if I were to do this exact same thing in a physical space, hit a ball, and it wouldn't go the same place it would in physical space as it does in the Wii, because in Wii, it's a one-to-one tracking of what I'm doing, but it's still like, this gesture is that kind of spin, this gesture is, it's not doing the actual stuff. So what I'm saying is it's not simulating the exact experience, but it's far superior to what it was before. It's gotten much better at tracking what you do, but it's by no means a simulator.
Well, I would agree it's not a simulator, but to play devil's advocate, devil's advocate slightly, I would say that the better I would do in those games would be directly proportional to when I would get my whole body into doing like when I was actually doing what a basketball shot would be, or when I was actually getting into the physical motion of that stuff rather than just kind of playing a video game. Well, that's when I would do better.
For Frisbee, that wasn't the case for me at all. When I actually stepped back and threw it like I did with Frisbee, I was way less accurate than when I went, okay, it just wants me to do this. Whoop! And I would be like a ninja with the Frisbee. And that to me was,
I think
but
it's your body
learning
what you have to, just like when you hit buttons and you learn what your muscle memory. Loved it. Loved it. I'm just saying what I think. I'm just trying to describe it.
Yeah, and don't make it seem like that this game isn't fun. I mean, I hated that you started with Alex must hate this, because it's not true. The Wii is great for this type of game. It's going to be, I'm so excited for my friends to come over and play it.
Well, then I don't understand the criticism, I guess. So
I'm talking about
it's not a simulator.
It's not a simulator, but
I don't think it was intended to be one.
No, I'm just describing that this is an improvement on what it was. But the one-to-one, like when we saw the Sony thing,
yeah, well, it's not the Sony thing.
It seemed like we could get to a place where it's. I'm just describing it.
Right.
I loved Frisbee. I could play Frisbee all day.
Frisbee golf, right?
Frisbee golf. Yeah. I was playing there, sitting there by myself playing. And it's like I didn't want to stop doing this. Yeah. And regular golf, me and my brother got into a heated match of golf, and we were like, I could go out and fucking play. Now, I couldn't actually. So that's another detailed description of what I was saying before. Is that what you're doing, as you know more than me?
Right.
What I'm doing in that golf game, if I go onto the green and do what I was doing, wouldn't be the case.
But that's kind of why it's a video game.
Absolutely.
Right? So that you can kind of be the thing you wish you could be.
It's clocking into the gestures of how to accomplish it, not clocking into how do I actually golf.
Right.
But I don't think that's the point, really.
Yeah,
not
but
saying
he's
it
just
is.
stating what it is.
Never said it was.
Saying.
So golf was great.
Yeah.
Frisbee was great.
Wakeboarding.
I thought dogfighting.
Yeah,
I didn't like wakeboarding actually.
Oh, dude, bro.
I loved wakeboarding.
Bro.
But the dogfighting, I was a huge fan of Crimson Skies back in the day.
Yes.
By no means Crimson Skies, but a lot of fun, and the most
Arrow wings.
It's the most arcadey of all the. Everything else is you do the action that you actually play a sport. You know, this was really just a dogfighting game that you can use motion controller for. But I thought that was a lot of fun.
I thought the bicycling was kind of arcadey, but in a very fun way. I was really surprised at how much I loved this. I think it's a huge improvement over the first Wii Sports, which is a fun game already. And I think the huge improvement is the Motion Plus. I think that is where it really is, the things you can accomplish now are much more interesting. And the way they've figured out to kind of distill these things down to their component parts is really, really fun. We had a great time playing archery. I love
archery. Archery, yes, was my favorite. Is my favorite of all the experiences. Sorry.
Yeah, I love the basketball, and I thought that the 3-on-3 thing that you unlock is almost like playing NBA Jam.
I was just about to say, yeah.
It really is. I just wish they incorporated some sort of rebounding, because it sucks that it has to stop for a second and reset everything before you switch who's on offense. I expected to kind of be bored with this stuff, but I found myself, like you, I'll play for 5 minutes and by myself, and all of a sudden I'm sucked in for several hours. Neither of you mentioned sword fighting, which is awesome, and especially the sort of adventure mode where it's almost like horde mode from Gears of War, where they just keep throwing tougher and tougher enemies at you, wave after wave. So much fun, and I really felt like I was, what I was doing was translating into the game, and I think if somebody takes that mechanic and adds sword and sorcery skin or a lightsaber skin or something like that and really ups the graphic, it would be so much fun.
You don't have to. Sword fighting, when you first play, is very waggle-rific. But you can definitely clock into if both parties playing take their time and let's not just
Yeah.
It really, because the blocking and
dude, and like really I'll attack the legs and come around and attack this side of the head. It really gets there.
The big problem I had was that it still does that thing where it's 1-to-1, but then there were times when we were playing the horde thing and I had my hand straight out and the guy was like this, and it's like.
Yeah, it's glitchy a little sometimes.
No, but that's the thing where I'm like, that's why it's hard for me because I hold it up to so much a higher degree.
I think if you took a second and recalibrated or well, no, you have to do that. That's not going to happen every time,